Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. Let me give everybody just a few seconds to get on here real quick. I was thinking about something tonight, and before I went to bed, I made a vow. I wanted to come on here and say it, and I'm going to start showing my age here in a minute. When we were all kids, growing up in Quincy, Illinois, there used to be a show on Channel 11 every day. And I forgot exactly how old I was, but it was called Bozo the Clown Show. Okay, and it's kind of funny because if you go in to some of like Aladdin's castle or some of the places in the malls or whatever, they used to have the bucket game. It was really cool because each time you threw a ping pong ball into a bucket, all right, you basically got a prize. The bigger, the farther the distance, okay, the better the prize. And I remember going to St. John's School and then coming home and going over to my grandma's house, and I was watching the Bozo the Clown Show. And the reason why this is kind of funny is I think a lot of my friends on here, hey Nick, hey Mike, what's going on, guys? I'm giving an example today of why sometimes we have to let our friends go through the hardships they're going through because we know it's going to make them strong. We don't like to see them go through hardships. But it reminds me of Bozo the Clown Show. Now, if you remember Bucket 1, you got like some toy you would get at like the KC barbecue or at the duck tank or whatever else, some cheap little toy. The second one, and as they go forth, it gets in the board games, and pretty soon the very last prize was a bike. Okay, so when they first throw that first ball in the first bucket, okay, Bozo's like, here you go, you got 10 buckets, and they would go forward with it. It was really cool, and so they throw the first ball into the bucket. Okay, all of us are like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? We don't really care about bucket 1. Honest to God, we didn't really care about bucket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, we didn't. Because those prizes weren't that great. They weren't. They just were not that great. However, once you got to 6, you got Battleship. Oh my God, the person just won Battleship. That's freaking awesome. Okay. Then they get the bucket in bucket number 7. And they get the ping pong ball in bucket number 7. You're like, oh yeah, you're just rooting for him. You're rooting for him. You're rooting for him. Then they get it bucket number 8. Now, the thing about it is, the farther out it is, the harder it is. But the prizes were better. 9 and 10, finally some people won that bike. Now what's funny is all of us, we could practice and eventually we could get really good at it if we wanted to. I remember going and putting buckets up at my grandma and Grandpa Coon's house and throwing the ball, just because like I said, that was like our favorite game on Bozo the Clown Show. And what does it mean when I tell somebody, I'm praying for you to get through something? I'm going to explain myself on this because I think this makes a lot of sense. We all know our friends have some really tough lives and difficult lives. They're going through a lot, okay? We don't always know what people are going through. We do our best to help. People kind of drag us in sometimes. But the whole idea is there's nothing in our life that we can't do that we cannot get through, okay? And if you want to get to something, you have to get through something. There's a start and a finish. It's what goes on in between that makes us who we are. The start, we're not going anywhere. We're waiting for the gun to go off until we can start. The finish line, it's over with. But everybody always thinks the starting line is the greatest or the finish line is the greatest. No, it's in between that happens. So when people are going through some really, really tough times, I'm not wishing those times to be done for them. And this is going to sound very mean, and I don't mean for it to. I don't want them to go through it, but I know whatever they're going through, they can get through it, and I'm rooting for them to get through it. I don't want them to quit. I want them to get through it, and I want them to be successful. I want them to learn. I want them to be like on a wrong road trip, and all of a sudden you get a flat tire, and you got to change that flat. You don't stop. You don't turn around and go back. You can't. You got to change the tire. You're throwing the ball in bucket 1. That's getting off the start line. Okay, we get it. We don't care. Nobody cares. Bucket number 2, you don't care. Look at all the people in the Olympics right now. We're not watching him. When Michael Phelps first started swimming, nobody was watching him. The first couple races, okay, yeah, you got a gold medal. Yeah, good for you. All of a sudden, he's getting to the 8th and 9th gold medal? Oh my God, who does a thing like that? Now all of a sudden, you don't want him to stop swimming. You want him to go through it because you want to see how much he can take. You want to see his endurance. You want to see, it's like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage in the middle of the ring. You don't want him to stop. You want to see who's got more endurance. You want to see them go all the way. You want to see them. And you know what? At the very end, when they're sitting there hugging each other and they shake each other hand because they're friends, you're like, wow, that's freaking awesome. They went the length. They got through it. And guess what? They can never do it again because they learned. Michael Phelps can no longer go back and get those gold medals again because he's already done it. He can no longer break a record because he's already done it. When we do something in life and we get through it, that means we've done it. God's not going to put something in our path that we can't get through. All of a sudden, we're praying to get out of it or anything else. We can't. We got to let it ride. Just like when we get the flu or whatnot, you got to let your body heal, right? You got to let your body get through it. There's no fast tracking it. There's no fast forward. So much today, we live in a technology age where let's go ahead and get to the end of the movie because we just want to watch the end. Or let's go ahead and, go to the end of a putt-putt course because we're going to skip 1 through 17. We're just going to go to hole 18, hit the ball. You know what? That's not what makes the game. That's not what makes people better. That's not what it's not even about becoming a champion, okay? It's like bowling and using bumper bowling, putting the bumpers up. Why? You got to learn. The only way to learn is you've got to get through it. And people go through divorces. They go through separations. They go through loss of people that die. They go through depression. I wish I could tell you that I don't want you to go through it because we don't want anybody to actually have to deal with it. But if you're going to go through it, I want you to get through it. I don't want you to stop. I don't want you to reverse. I don't want it to be over. I want you to get through it so you no longer have to do it again. And next time it comes up, it's like your immune system. It's going to fight next time. And it's going to be ready for it. And you'll never have to go through that hardship again because you're going to fight for it. So what I'm trying to tell you is going back to the bozo game. We don't root for a person to make the first bucket with the first pull of the ping pong ball. We don't root for the second bucket, the second hole. We root for the 6th, the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th holes. Why? Because the first 5 is easy. Okay, so what? You got a difficult life. Get over it. You got to, basically everything you do in life, you have to earn. You've got to work for your life. Okay? There's no easy way out. There's no handouts anywhere. And the second you allow somebody to give a handout, now guess what? Now you owe them. Don't owe anybody anything in your life. And when you're going through something, be proud. Yes, your friends can help you get through it. But don't ask them to stop you from getting to it. You got to go through it to get to it. You cannot get to the finish line without starting at the start line. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, that's stupid to say. No, it's not, because you know what? The challenge is in between the start line and the finish line. The start line, you're not running. The finish line, you're done and over with. It'll never happen again. It's what happens in the middle. It's buckets 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you notice I said 5, not 6. 1 through 4 you can make. 5 is getting a little tougher. I'm going to clap you on. I'm going to root you on. I'm going to motivate you. Okay? When the basketball game first starts, okay, it's great. Everybody's equal. Nothing's going on, okay? It's when everybody starts getting tired that you're telling them to push harder. You want to know how hard these guys work. You want to know if your money was worth it by basically looking at these guys on the football field, on the basketball court. Ask some people that have ever refereed before. You need to get through it. When I say I'm praying for you, I'm not praying for it to be over. I'm praying for you to get through it. When I say I believe in you to get through it. I believe in you. You can do it, because guess what? If not, it's going to keep coming back again. You have to face reality. You have to face the dangers that lie within. And sometimes those fears can be inside or outside. But guess what? Just like those buckets that you're throwing it in, no one cares about the first 4 buckets. I don't care how much we want people to look. Look at me. I can put in the first 4 buckets. As a little kid, yeah, because you don't have the skills. And when you do it, I'm sure as a little kid, it's great. But as you get a little older, 5, you're doing pretty good. Oh, wait a minute, Aaron, there's something going on. 6, oh, man, yeah, keep going. And you're scared, but I'm not telling you to stop. I'm telling you to keep going. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you get a bike. Look at all the game shows in the world. Look at everything going on out there. Do you root for the person that just got $100? Or you root for the person that's going for $10,000 when they pack it up and go home? You're like, yeah, no, you're like, boo, come on, man, keep going. You can do it. Go all the way. Push yourself. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your abilities. Have faith that your friends around you are going to teach you. Have faith that you can learn. Have faith in God. Have faith in whatever you need to have faith in to keep moving forward and get through the depression so you can get to a positive atmosphere. Have faith that you can get that job. If you go in there and say, oh, well, maybe I don't want this job, turn and walk out, you're never going to get the damn job. But if you go in there and you say, hey, here's my resume, here's who I am, have a little confidence in yourself. Yeah, sure, you went through a divorce, big whoop-de-doo. Learn the mistakes from the last one. Yeah, sure, you're in separation. Learn what's going on. Don't just blame each other. Learn what you did wrong, learn what they did wrong, and come to the table with an agreement so you can learn to get through it together. Yeah, sure, you may have gotten a fight with your buddy. Apologize. Forgive yourself, forgive him. Get through it. It sucks. We're not going to lie to you. It sucks. Suck it up. That's what we say in the Marine Corps. You know why? In Vietnam, guys went over there and they died. You know why? They got dropped in the middle of nothing. And if they didn't know what they were doing, or if there was no leadership, they died. Doesn't matter how you look at it, they would die. So what happened? They had to get better. And they did. Why do I use that as an example? Because that's a worst case scenario. World War II. World War I, we thought we'd learn from. We went into World War II. World War II, we go into everything else. But guess what? Leaders emerged, and they taught us to keep getting through it. And if you are a leader, you're going to go through it yourself first. You're going to throw the balls in the buckets. You're going to throw the ping pong balls in the buckets. And you're not going to stop until you make every single bucket. And if the ball doesn't go in, you're going to keep shooting there. You're going to tell Bozo, get away there. I'm going to make that bucket. And you don't go forward or backward. You keep going until you make that bucket. Then you do the next one. Hey, I got 10 buckets I got to make. 10 buckets to learn from. You're learning skill. In the Marine Corps, we do what's called muscle memory. Everything we do is muscle memory. Man, they have us firing so many rounds. Why is muscle memory important? Because we got to get through it, right? What you learn in practice, you take to the field. Why do you think basketball players and football players practice so hard, lift so many weights, working every part of their body? Why do you think football players take ballet? They've got to get through it. So they're doing everything in their power when it's come that challenge, when it's time to get better. You'll do whatever it takes to get better. If money's on the line, relationships are on the line, you do whatever it takes. That's why I say, I pray for you to get through things, not to quit things. Because you've got it in you to do whatever you want to do. You matter. You're important. You've got to keep pushing every single day. Never give up. Because at the end, you may have got Battleship, but if you can get Battleship and the bike, and the ping pong set, and the lacrosse, and the basketball, and the coloring book, heck, I even take the little dinosaur that blow up in water. Getting all 10 prizes, and you want to know something, you know you can go out there and do it again. You don't walk away thinking, hey, I did that, I'll never be able to. No, you walk away thinking, I could do that again if I wanted to. Why I did it once, why couldn't I do it again? That's how you're going to feel after you get through any situation you're in. It sucks, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I can never be in some of y'all's shoes. I see you guys, and I weep for you, and I have tears for you. But I'm not going to tell you to stop. I'm not going to tell you to give up or give in. I'm just going to tell you, you can do it. I'm going to root you on. I'm going to be your biggest fan. I'm going to be your biggest motivator. I'm going to be the loudest guy out there telling you, you've got this. You can do it. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. And in the end, at the finish line, when you're done with everything and you're like, man, and you're like, yeah, I got the finish line. Finish line, you're not happy you made the finish line. You're happy because you got through it. Finish line is just the start of a new race. You matter. You're important. I hope and pray each and every one of you have all the challenges in your life, and I hope you make every one of them, because each and every one of you matters. My name is Jeffrey Jansen. I am proud of you. I'm proud to be your friend. I hope and pray each and every one of you has all the challenges in the world put in front of you, because I know each one of those challenges means you're a better person, you're a bigger person, you're a more experienced person. You can't just join the military and think you're going to go be a recon ranger. You can't just join the Army. Hey, look, I'm recon. You can't join the Marine Corps. I'm force recon. I love when people tell me that from a recruiter, because I look at them and laugh. All the way down to the simple rifleman. No, you've got to get through it to get to it. You've got to learn. You've got to train hard. You've got to build your muscles. You've got to build your education. If you want to be the best, you got to start training like the best. If you want to get through something, you need to learn how to get through it. And that's what makes you better. We don't go to school just because parents want to get rid of us. We go to school so we learn, so we can be better when we get out of school. Now, I'm going to end on this. The Bozo show was freaking awesome. I don't care who you are. Bozo the Clown, he's awesome. The bucket game, keep shooting the buckets until you get all 10 of them. It's just our games as we get older. The buckets get a little smaller. The balls get a little heavier. And it just seems like the distance is farther and farther away. So once as a kid, we start looking at it like a kid. Because each one of those buckets we got to throw that ball into. But if we don't throw the ball, we'll never know. We'll never get a prize. And we'll never have another chance. Keep going. You've got it. I believe in you. I'm Jeffrey Jansen. I hope and pray each one of you have a great day. I think you're awesome. Thank you for being my friend, and thank you for being who you are. Bye, everybody.